Not necessarily. Like, you don't just lose muscle. Because when you build strength, you build muscle too. It's not the same. You don't, maybe not at the same pace or something like that. So I think if you just train for like strength, it would be something that you would it would take a little bit longer to get stronger. If you're naturally good at building muscle, which you seem like you are, it's like strength just requires a different structure of training. But then you have to find a balance. That's the hardest thing, is like finding the balance between being strong and being like aesthetic or being muscular. Because there's a lot of powerlifters, strong guys. You'd see him on the sheet, you'd be like, I don't even know if that guy lifts. But he lifts 700 pounds, 800 pounds, 900 pounds. So, you know, that's what they're going for. That's their goal. If your goal is to balance a both, it's definitely harder to balance both. But it can be done. I'm doing it. Now, granted, I'm not as lean as I'd like to be certain times, right? So, and I know when I try to get leaner, then I'll lose a little bit of strength. So it's like, where are you most comfortable? Where are you most happy, really, when it comes down to? Like, what makes you the happiest? Being more aesthetic or being stronger? I'm not saying you can't do both. It's harder to get both. Like, one that kind of always goes like this.
I think it's also, that's my question to you, is do you see yourself more as a born strength athlete or more as a born aesthetic guy? Because there's like people, you mentioned them before, like 700-pound deadlift, they don't look as they lift.
Yeah.
If they would change their training to hypertrophy, like bodybuilding, would they ever look, you know, as good as their 700?
This is a genetic question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's just like a basketball player. Like a basketball player, he was born to be 6'7", 6'8", really tall. You know, I think people are genetically. I mean, it's a fact. Genetics play a role in how your body can perform or function. I'm not saying you can't do things that other people can do, but like physically, like I'm not going to be 6'8" and be a basketball player. You know, just like some guys may not have the type of muscle bellies or like the fullness of their muscles to be like Arnold or bodybuilder, right? They may have more, like they have a stronger sensory nervous system, so they can lift more weight, and they can lift more weight more often. Then you may have, they may have a stronger central nervous system than you, but they maybe not be able to build the same kind of muscle that you can build. So everyone's just dealt different cards. The reality is though, no matter what cards you're dealt, you could always maximize your own potential. Be the best version of yourself.
Even if it's not as high potential, you can go for the
absolutely.
max.
I think a lot of people get caught up in looking at people who are like outstanding, like people who are like incredible,
outliners.
Like and they're like, I want to be like that. And sometimes if they don't get there or don't get there soon enough, they get down on themselves, and it becomes a thing where it's like, you really got to realize like it's you against you. Like you can look at other people for motivation or inspiration, but you can't compare your, like it'd be silly if I compared myself to you and everything you have. Like it doesn't make sense. Like I could appreciate what you have, be like, oh, you know, I like his back or I like his shoulders, and I want to make mine a little bit better. And you could inspire me. But if I doubt myself, then I'm only fucking with my progress.
Exactly.
So I think a lot of people get caught up in like looking at other people, and it's not bad to look for motivation, but if you're looking like and you're treating yourself negatively, like, oh, you know, I don't have what he has yet, and you're like down on yourself, it's only going to slow down your own personal progress to be the best version of yourself. And that's what, in my opinion, all this stuff's about. That's why I do it. You know, the whole thing, like you said, let's get better together, man. That's what it's all about.
That's an awesome speech. I think it's you have to get motivated and inspired by people, but never compare them. You know, that's
because it's impossible.
Comparison makes you unhappy.
You can never be another person. No matter how much you want it, you can't. You can be the very best version of yourself and look to people like you or people like me or people like whoever for motivation. But don't like be like I want to be that person. You know.
What are inspirational persons, or what are people they really motivated you in your past on your way to where you are right now?
So, okay. Oh man, touchy subject, kind of. So I grew up without a father, right? My father took his life when I was 6 years old, and I'd always had like people in my life, whether it be like coaches or friends or people that I worked out with, and that's what most of the time, because most of my time was spent in the gym. So it was pretty much people who I was working out with who were being like mentors, or people who would come into my life and like teach me something, and those are the people that I really looked up to, and that kind of set me on a path to like, let me be the best version of myself, because I want to be able to be that person for other people. So there's not like I can't say certain people, like, of course Arnold's an inspiration.
A role model, right? There's not like a role.
They played roles in my life. They were there when I was younger at certain like parts. So they taught me how to bench press better. They taught me how to curl better. They taught me how to squat better. And like growing up without a father, like normally a father figure would be someone who'd be like an inspirational thing. So it took me to find these other people who were coming to my life and to realize that they were there, to see that like they were helping me in ways that like, know, if I had a father, maybe he would have, but he, you know, so it's like a thing of, you just have to find inspiration in everything, in everybody. People come in and out of your life, and it's like, everyone has a purpose. I truly believe that. It just matters like how you react to that person or that situation, like what you can take from it.
Key persons in your life, they come to, like, do you believe in law of attraction?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. My whole life is about that.
Yeah,
man. My whole life has been, whether or not I knew it was at the time or not, it was still happening. Like when things come in your life, like you always react to them, and like it's up to you to decide if you're gonna go like down like a good reaction. You're gonna take something good from it. And I realize it's hard. There's certain things in life like family dying and things like that it's hard to see the good in it at the time. But like it's talk about this shit. Like my father, right? He passed away, and of course, like I'm like, why me? Why me? Why me? Right? And at the time, so I was like probably like 16 years old, like it ate me up inside, and it was the reason why I went so hard in the gym. But I look back now. Shit.
You see a lot of good things now.
Yeah, so now it's a thing that I've used to motivate me to help motivate others. To be a figure in other people's lives, to show them that they could be anything they want to be.
That's awesome.
And that's it, man. So, law of attraction, absolutely. And then people who come in and out of my life, or I think about things and really believe that I can have something. And I don't believe that you can just like hope and wish and pray that you want shit or that you're gonna have shit and that you'll have it. I believe that you have to hope, wish and pray, believe, and put in work. And then those things will come into your life. It's just a matter of you seeing it and being able to visualizing it. But then like, say he was our camera guy right now, right? Say he came into my life and he did something, and it's up to me to understand how it's affecting me, what he did, and how I can better myself from it. Right? Like today, it's a stupid thing, but like he filmed our video.
Yeah.
You know, thankfully he showed up because at the time, like my boy couldn't film. Right? Little small things.
When are those moments where you're really reflecting yourself, or when you have like deep thoughts? You know, because there's people. When I'm a person, I really observative. I like to not only observe myself, to zoom out and to just to look at me. Why did I do that? You know, why did I do that? Also see other person. There's people in life, I think they're never go deep in themselves. You know, and when I hear you talking, like what you say, I think that you're also a thinker. You know, you think a lot. So where is it the place you think? Is it in the gym while you're training, or is it like where before you go sleep? Where do you have those deep thoughts?
It's funny you say that. It's not in the gym. In the gym is like, I'm in there for a purpose normally. And sometimes I have those thoughts to motivate me to like get to a next level, but they're brief. It's more about the motion and the movements and the things I do in the gym. But where I have those real thoughts about my life and where my direction is and what I want to do, absolutely before I go to bed at night.
Before you go to bed.
And it's hard sometimes. Like I gotta sleep with a fan on so it distracts me. Like if I sleep in silence, my brain will never stop. Like I have those moments at night. You know, if I read a book or something, I'll lay down and I'll think about everything that's gone on in my life, what I want to do tomorrow, what my goals are, how close am I, how long is it going to take, like how many more steps, or what steps do I have to take. All that stuff goes through my head. So at night is definitely when I have those moments of, I guess you call them inspiration, but also like keeps me the hell up at night.
Yeah.
Like I want to sleep, bro.
Sometimes you dream about that shit. Huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think if you like whatever it is, man, if it's like a business goal, if it's a life goal, if it's a physique goal, relationship goal, whatever it is, if you let it consume you, not negatively, but if you let it consume you and your activities and everything that you do, you'll get to whatever that pinnacle is, whatever that goal is. Like the more you think about it, the more it will become a reality. I'm not just saying like, because once you think about it, you're gonna want to take steps. You're gonna want to take the chances, the risks that most people, like you said, don't look inside themselves because it's uncomfortable. A lot of times, like, which also I feel like people are very intrigued in social media because they look at other people.
Yeah.
And they want the best for themselves, but if you focus on other people and what other people are doing, you're never going to get the best for yourself. And like I said, inspiration, of course, but if you can't look into yourself and look at yourself from a different perspective than just you know, how you feel about yourself, like in a situation like with girls, always doing this shit, right? With girls,
it's always the same shit.
Yeah, with girls, it's like they have a perspective of you and you have a perspective of the situation. A lot of times it's hard to like you said, like what you do, step back and like, let me look at your side and let me look at my side. Most people, most of the time, just want to like, they just look their way. Try to see through my eyes. And it's very hard for someone to say like, let me get and look at why you feel about the situation.
Empathy
because it's harder.
Yeah.
Because some people don't like to be wrong. If you're wrong in a situation, or if you feel like it's gonna relieve something that might seem weaker. People don't like to be weak, right? People don't like to be weak. So it's a thing where it's like, you don't want to be weak, you don't want to seem weak, even though you may not even be aware of it, but you act on it. It's your subconscious, you know?
Yeah. With girls, it's funny because for example, I'm here for 8 weeks now, or 7 weeks, and I had a lot of experiences with girls, like talking to them, and also to pull them, obviously, to try. And in LA, it's like a whole different story, you know. And that's the first week.
They like the accent.
I was bad.
I bet you they like the accent.
The first week, I was bad. I didn't get along with any of those chicks, you know. I just lost the communication, you know. I didn't have the flair. And then, like we told, I zoomed out. Why, you know? Why? What did I wrong? And it's really funny how after a few weeks, you know, just spend time with those people, get some thoughts in, try new things, and then you get along with it. With girls, it's crazy because I think they have another energy, also another way of thinking. A lot of them, and
absolutely,
and especially if you're in another country, it makes a different game. And that's funny that you compared it with girls because I had the same thoughts.
That's exactly like it's it though, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.